Awareness, awareness, awareness. Soul Doctor Nick here, former medical doctor turned soul doctor, and I want to chat with you today about awareness. I've been listening to Anthony de Mello's book, Awareness, and being reminded that the path to spirituality, towards becoming alive, towards being with the real, is just awareness. And awareness of what is, noticing all the labels, the stories, the mind, and noticing the judgments, the fears, the excitements, the wanting, the not wanting. And I'm saying all this and recording this video today to remind myself and to remind you of awareness. Can that be enough in itself of a practice? And the awareness of the practices itself, noticing the awareness of the addiction to things for myself, whether it's the addiction to sunlight now, breath, enemas, to personal time, personal space, and then recognizing it's a choice every day. Even these videos, the magic mirror work, everything else, it's a choice. And part of the awareness for myself is I'm not pushing in the same way that I used to try to get this out there to create an audience, because I'm becoming more aware of myself. And as I do that, it's like drawing the flies to honey. It's like drawing things in, because there's the awareness of the flow, of the clarity of reality, of the living. For myself, I spent so many years with such a death urge, just wanted to die, but wanted to die like a martyr, like a hero, like someone that will be remembered, because that would be easier than being with the complexity of myself. Sometimes recognizing I'm doing amazing things and being really clear, really present. Sometimes realizing I'm totally in my head, depressed, hiding, fearful. Recognizing even today, I got an email and I was like, oh, I want to send a message out of love and awareness, but really it was out of spite, out of judgment, out of wanting someone else to feel a bit of what I thought I felt. And then having awareness that no one can do anything to me. And thank you for all these things that are happening that allow me to remember. And part of the awareness is the awareness of all the really challenging things that have happened in my life. The suicidality, the complete loneliness, the death of one of my really good friends, the diseases that I've had, the near-death experiences. And now when I get to look back and reflect, I'm so grateful that they've happened, and I get to still learn lessons from them without having to go through them again. And it's such a shift from so many people like, I had such a big trauma, it's gonna take me so long to get over it, rather than, I've had such a big trauma. Thank you for giving me that opportunity to keep learning lessons from this trauma I've already had, instead of thinking of the next trauma coming up. And so much of life is spent thinking about what's coming up, what is actually under my control, what isn't under my control. I'm here on Hawaii, on Big Island, and the awareness that typhoons can come in, tsunamis can come in, earthquakes can come in, volcano eruptions come in, and how little control I have over that. We visited a friend whose farm was almost buried by the last giant eruption that affected whole towns and communities around them. And how much insurance is trying to insure us that we can avoid, or we can rebuild, or all these things. And really, the awareness that it just is. It just is. How much we want to spend on focusing on the possibilities of things that we're trying to control, rather than be with what is. The awareness of healthcare and the current healthcare system is really symptom management and avoidance of death care. And how much of my life now is devoted to health care, caring for the health of my body, my family, my loved ones, my ohana, so that I can more be aware of reality and play in this space and this field. Even noticing holding up this phone, how it's affecting my arms, how it's affecting my hands. Noticing how I can have things that are canceled and be aware of the divine imperfection of it all, and then just be aware of, okay, there's some judgment, and then be aware of, okay, how can I use this as an opportunity, right? From Dr. John Demartini, wisdom is the instantaneous recognition that crisis is a blessing. That crisis is a blessing. And being able to recognize more and more, how quickly can I get to that awareness? And how quickly can I notice that all the awarenesses I've had can get thrown out in a moment from something more tragic than I can imagine. And I learned that from hearing about C.S. Lewis's book Grief, when his wife died, and he's like, all my faith disappeared. And I look forward to reading that book, because it is a reminder. In my family lineage, I had a brother who passed away shortly after birth, and that has affected my family line. Why, God, why have you forsaken me? And noticing that for myself at times, why, God, why have you forsaken me when I was lonely, when I was depressed, when I was suicidal, when I was lost? Even now, as I'm trying to figure out where our next home's going to be, how to create the work, how to create the life, how to deliver more value. Why, God? Instead of saying, why, God, this is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And this momentary happiness, this contentment, am I going to grasp onto that still? So awareness. And if you can play with awareness, keep playing with awareness. And that's probably how we're going to start the 2026 breath series. This 2025 we've ended with health, wealth, family, freedom, flow, receiving. And every time I'm stepping into it and through it as well. Our next one's on flow, and I'm stepping into it. I have the awareness that the work that I do is transmuting through me and transmuting me at the same time. And how can we create that? This world of value, this world of beauty, this world of bounty. There's so much bounty here. What are we rushing for? What am I rushing for? And that was the reminder I was getting. What am I rushing for? And how? Let's get more and more aware and create. So thank you for anyone who's tuned into this and tuned into the distance of awareness. Awareness by Anthony de Mello. I highly recommend the audiobook because it's actually his voice and almost his funny lecture series. I haven't tried reading the book yet, and I'm going to be giving more book reviews and other things. And feel free to leave comments on how you'd like things to go, what you'd like to hear, how you might want things to flow to get more of a connection. Because my awareness is I'm creating these videos for myself right now, and I'm creating these videos for you. And how do I create this so it creates even more awareness? Ciao for now.